Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Late Nights with Des stream. Let me just turn my phone off real quick. Hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are doing great. How is you guys this Friday? How are you guys doing? Tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about Jeffrey Epstein and reading the birthday book, looking at some photos, looking at some videos, just all things Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I'm just going to jump right in and just with the birthday book. Let me actually put it up on the screen. I am coming live tomorrow as well, and we're going to do a different live. I think just each day that I come on live, we're just going to have different topics to talk about. Tonight, we're going to talk about the birthday book. Let me see if I can. I think right there is fine. I want to make it where you guys could see it perfectly fine. So we're going to look at the birthday book. Now, everybody has been talking about this on TikTok. Not a lot of content creators or people know that this birthday book even exists. Allegedly, this is Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday book, and a lot of people have been saying that it reminds them of the Bible, just the way it looks. I mean, I've seen photos of the actual book on TikTok, and it does remind me of a Bible, kind of, sort of, but it's called The First 50 Years, and this is just people who made, well, it was people who were close to Jeffrey that wrote in this book, but the person who made this book and made it all together was Ghislaine Maxwell. If you don't know, Ghislaine Maxwell is, some people say that's Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend, her accomplice. I'm just gonna say that's his homie. I feel like they were together. So they did redact some of the victims. They did redact some people. But we're only going to read a little bit of it. I know I was supposed to read the files tonight, but I just thought about it and I was like, I'm pretty sure we've all seen the files. What is going on? Hang on. Hang on. So, this is I believe one of the first pages in the book. I cannot tell anything it's saying, so I'm just going to try my best. But it goes, Jeffrey, I believe it's code, or the something behind this book was simply to something and old photographs to jog your memory, almost also places people in different something. Some of the letters will, oh my god, I don't even know who wrote this. Will something achieve their worded something somewhere. You will have to read something for I don't even know, for yourself. I know you will enjoy looking through the book, and I hope you will desire so much pleasure. I think that's pleasure, looking through it as I did. Happy birthday, Ghislaine. I feel like this is Ghislaine's handwriting. Now in this they do put his birth certificate. Thank God they redacted it. Geez, who wrote all this? Good Lord, this is doctor handwriting for you guys, because I don't even know what's going on. This is Jeffrey Epstein's birthday book that not a lot of people know of. Please, or something where your bodyguards besides, yeah, yo, what? See, all I know is it says secret something too great. I don't even know. Ghislaine has some horrible Ghislaine has horrible handwriting. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, the pictures on here are so eerie. Okay, so he was a Cub Scout. Jeffrey Epstein used to be a Cub Scout. No credentials kept. So it's just pictures of Jeffrey Epstein when he was little with his siblings. The Dear Lord, I cannot even read this. Okay, there's Epstein when he was younger, as you were. Again, Ghislaine has some sucky handwriting. Jeff Epstein, he used to be in a kind of like a band, I'm assuming, when he was younger. Brooklyn, I'm guessing this is Brooklyn to... What in the heck? Honestly, Ghislaine has some weird handwriting. I cannot read any of that. Okay, there's his houses. Palm Beach. From planes to helicopters to trains, happy birthday. Oop, I clicked on something. Where do you want it? Coming through the past. I don't even know. So I'm assuming Ghislaine mostly organized this book. Now everything is redacted. Okay, look closely and you can see me like you have something. Something in 1991. Okay, so there's Jeffrey with Ghislaine. I don't know who this couple is up here. It is loading. Family. Okay, they're gonna talk about family. I gotta be very careful. I have to be very careful because there's a picture on the family. Let me stop sharing real quick. There's a picture on the family post. I think it's of Jeffrey's dad, and they didn't redact his bottom part. I don't know why his dad didn't have no pants on in one picture. But let me just skip ahead. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip ahead. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit. Here we go. Now, like I said, not a lot of people know about this birthday book. I didn't even know it existed until TikTok told me about it. So happy 50th birthday. May 2003 proved to be the year you were the most happy. You're the most happy. Dear son Jeff, I have been very busy reminiscing since Ghislaine asked me to write about you for your book. I keep thinking about then and now. My father drove Seymour and me to the hospital that cold, snowy day in January to become parents of the beautiful, heartful son, Jeff. Why would you put beautiful, though? You would have to put, like, handsome, no? Like, beautiful is for, like, girls. Anyways, you have been a good son from day one, and we have been proud of you ever since. He's not even beautiful or handsome. He's ugly as hell. Jeffrey Epstein is ugly. Sorry. I'm just saying my opinion. I recall you refused to go to sleep unless I read a story from Grandma's golden book that she bought for 25 cents. Grandma visited us every Saturday. Today you are still and reader. Books cost $2. I think that's $2 or question dollars. I knew you were an excellent student because your report cards were A+. At PTH meetings, I begged your teachers to help improve your handwriting. At age 5, you had your first accordion lesson. Lessons later, teacher Mr. Mathos booked you in something idle. You won prizes and other local competitive prizes. Today, do you know where your accordion is? You also played at your bar mitzvah and Uncle Lenny's bar mitzvah. So he used to be hang on. So he used to play the accordion. I think we just saw that picture earlier. He played the accordion. After a time, you switch to piano lessons. Mr. Jerome recommended you to wait, what? Something where you had fun. I don't know if it improved your piano. Today you own a log cabin there. At age 27, Cosmopolitan magazine featured you as Bachelor of the Month. Really? Why did they put him as Bachelor of the Month? Today you still had that title. Oh, today you still hold that title? He is no Bachelor of no month. He is the pedophile. We objected 100% to you going to Europe at that time after graduation. We would have seen it. You would have traveled as the gentleman tourist. What? Instead, you went with Terry something. We pictured you coming home, tired, undernourished, picky. To our surprise, you looked great and had a great time. Your experience in Europe helped you get the job at something. Hang on. On my end, it's saying my connection's dying. Well, it's not. It's saying my connection's stalling. Okay, there it goes. My connection has been lagging today. Today, a Loomis awaits you as I don't even know. Jeff, I'm so sorry that Dad can't share the nachos we have regarding. Does that say nachos? I think that says nachos. Nachos. We have regarding your achievements. He would have been overjoyed reading the article about you in the New York Magazine. I was looking at family tapes and we had many parties, anniversary parties, etc. You enjoyed being there. Today you had avoid gatherings, parties. Why? Tonight is the deadline. I must get this manuscript to Ghislaine. If I know me as soon as if I mean, I would think of what I should write. Is this his mom writing to him? Okay, what is this? Um, I remember moving to Willow something Avenue. Something about law school. Okay, well, obviously these have to be like close friends or family members writing these notes. No, I'm not gonna read the whole notes that they wrote to him, because quite frankly, some of them like this I can't even read. Maybe I just can't read cursive. But I will definitely put this in my Discord if you guys want to read it on your own time. But yeah, you see how some of it's all like scratched out and like. So I'm assuming these are just notes from family and friends that Ghislaine got in touch with so they can write to Jeffrey, some of the times they spent with him, moments they remember with him, just things like that. I'm actually going to go ahead and skip to a few pages. Now, I did go into the oversight and the DOJ page, and I did find that they did post the night that Jeffrey Epstein, from what they say, he self-inflicted himself. I looked at it. I don't know. It looks suspicious. It looks like they edit some stuff out. But I'll show you guys in a little bit. This is Jeffrey Epstein when he was younger, and I believe this is his younger brother. I believe this is photos. This is him with his accordion. He used to play the accordion, the piano. Apparently, according to his mom or someone in his family, that Jeffrey did used to play some instruments. He used to play some stuff. Apparently, he went to law school or something. I read somewhere else. Okay. How I remember Jeffrey. Jeffrey was born average in size, a dazzling smile, laughing blue eyes, the mind of a truly great mathematician. To me, he is someone beyond all this description. My contributing a simple toy for such an outstanding little boy. He assumed that the thousands of nuts and screws and bolts created an empire with outstanding results. The memory I shall never forget, and it all started with an Hector set. Love you forever, Fran. So I believe Fran is someone who knew Jeffrey or who was close to Jeffrey. What is this? Blank? Oh, okay. So this is the Seagate Chronicle. Accordion torture. Yeah, I don't even know what some of this is. Some of the stuff that Ghislaine put in this book, I don't even know what has to do with this. Nickel artist arrested. Yeah, this, I don't even know. Like I said, Ghislaine Maxwell was the one who organized this book, and she's the one who, who reached out to people and told them, like, oh, we're going to make a book for Jeffrey's 50th birthday. Do you want to write something, memories or anything of it? But let me stop sharing, and let me just skip ahead a little bit to some of the other parts in this. Now, there is a disturbing image on there in this book, actually, that people are like, ew, like, even, no wonder why no one knows of this book, or the reason this book is hidden is because it revealed some deep, dark secrets of what they were doing. A lot of them were weird. Like, a lot of the images that were in this 50th book, they just give weird pedo vibes. Like, just creepy vibes, and I'll show you in a little bit one of the images. And I do have to be careful because some of them are kind of not redacted. He does have pictures with women, with Ghislaine, stuff like that. Of course, I can't show you because they're not full nudity, but you know how YouTube is, they're very strict. So I'm gonna read you some of these. Page 58. Okay. Hang on. As it loads. There we go. Let me add it here. There's a lot about him. He was really a nobody. In my opinion, he was a perv, and all his friends were pervs too. Yeah. Jeffrey Epstein was literally a nobody. I think it was in a documentary, where they said that the reason he got like so rich is because he would steal from people. Like people he would work for, he would steal their money, and he would just profit off other people. He never really did good in college or anything. A lot of people and some professors said. I forgot what documentary. I think it was in the Netflix documentary, the Jeffrey Epstein Filthy Rich. So another one would be that they wrote this in the book, Castaways Volume 1. I mean, it's just very disturbing. It's disgusting how like they put something like this. I was porking. Oh, whoa! Did you look at that? I was porking. Wait, what? Stop. Ew! Why does it do that? Okay, I was left pouring, pouring some girl in bed, and Jeff brings in the maid to make bed. She left screaming and never came back. We're both in bed, pouring, pouring. I don't know. Some girls. I said, "What do you think?" While he's shoving penicillin down my throat. Ew. Just ew. Like this, and mind you, not a lot of people know that this book exists. This book is just so like disgusting, and it gets even more disgusting as you go on and read more of the 238 pages in this book. I went the whole day without speaking English. Jeff told everybody I was raised on a boat in Brazil. When I come out of the bathroom brushing my teeth, I spit the foam on the floor. Jeff says that's how they do it in Brazil. This has to be like one of his weirdo friends. Concord Hotel. Jewish singles weekend. Sit us down at table with ugly girls. I told them, don't you have any pretty ones? This has to be one of his weird pervert friends. We get in a room. Jack says, don't touch my hair, you dumb water. Oh, you dump water right on his head, then you set room on fire. Um, Throwing food in dining room. No one would serve us, so they put us by kitchen, gave us all our money back, and told us to leave and never come back. Concord Hotel. Oh, it's the same one. It's a repeat of the same thing I just read you. Blank and blank. So redacted. Two very young girls, probably just 17. Whoa, wait, hold on. Because I could get taken down for this. Hold on. Wait a minute. I can get taken down for this. Hold on. Two girls, probably just 71 backwards, were riding in my father's caddy Park Avenue, top down, smoothing it up in car, drop dead laughing. This book is just very disgusting. And who made Ghislaine made this, okay? Yeah. It's like the pedos leaving the pedos. Ocean Reef trip. Start off, you get speeding ticket with you're with blank and her mother's looking at me like I'm a boy of candy and shoving food the whole time down my mouth. The boat ride in blank, birthday present boat. Whoa. Blank, the rabbi's daughter. Jeff would call the house rabbi's voice and say, this is blank's father. I would bring here up to your mother's house and make her take her. So I'm going to let you read that part because YouTube would take me down. This is just an FYI. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I am not responsible for anyone else's actions, comments, or anything that occurs. This is on the internet for anyone to get. Okay, so do not come for me. Google or anybody, YouTube. I'm gonna let you read this part. If this doesn't show you how sick and disgusting and perv he was, I don't know what will. 3/4 or more of our government are too. Exactly. He was a mole, a pasty. Look at him. So you don't see me, the real person. Exactly. He's a pervert. Her and blank would play. Yeah. Mind you, this is a birthday book that they did for him. This has to be one of his friends. Yeah, I can't even read some of this. Okay, so this is from someone named Johnny Boy. I'm just getting disgusted already reading this. Dearest Jeff, 50 years old. You really have a pretty amazing life. Amazing because of where and when it started. I'm going to just leave it there. Paula and Seymour, you know, who was there to tell him where to? Can you guys see this? I don't think you guys. Oh, hold on. Oh, it moved me. Hang on. Hang on, yeah. It moved me when I did that. All right, there we go. I mean, there we go. Share screen. Okay, now it just went a little blurry. It went blurry, but who was there to tell him where to put it? You told him to spit on her. Okay, now it's blurry on my end. Hold on. On her, you know, to make it WET. Maybe they had more on the. I can't even read this. Whoever and I can't even finish reading this because this is just so disgusting. Who was he really? Like, what was his actual background? Epstein's? Here, I can get you Jeffrey Epstein's actual background. Because I can't even finish reading this page that someone wrote to him. Let me get you a background of Jeffrey Epstein. So, let me pull it up for you. Yeah, this is just very like. Ugh. So, according to people, born and raised in New York, Epstein taught math and physics at the city of the private Dalton School in the mid-1970s. He had studied physics and math himself at university, although he never graduated. A father of one of his students said to have been so impressed that he put Epstein in touch with the senior partner at the Wall Street investment bank, Bear Stearns. His partner were there within 4 years. So he was kind of like a professor, but I mean, he went to college and they said he never graduated. Here, let me get like a full in-depth of him. Okay, here we go. So his name was Jeffrey Edward Epstein. He was born on January 20th, 1953 in Brooklyn. His parents, Pauline Paula and Seymour George Epstein, were Jewish and had married in 1952 shortly before his birth. Pauline worked as a school aide and as a homemaker. Seymour worked at the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation as a groundskeeper and gardener. Jeffrey was the older of two siblings. He and his brother Mark grew up in the neighborhood of Seagate, a private gated community in Coney Island, Brooklyn. Within the family, Jeffrey was nicknamed Bear, while Mark was named Puggy. A childhood friend described Paula as a wonderful mother and homemaker. The neighbors remembered the parents as being quiet and humble. Epstein attended local public schools, first attending public school 188, and then Mark Twain Junior High School nearby. The usual earned money by tutoring classmates. Acquaintances considered Jeffrey sweet and generous, although quiet and nerdy. They nicknamed him Epi. He was just an average boy, very smart in math, slightly overweight, freckles, always smiling. A female friend later described. In 1967, Epstein attended the National Music Camp in Innerschlossen Center for the Arts. He began playing piano when he was 5. He was regarded as a talented musician by friends. He graduated in 1969 from Lafayette High School at age 16, having skipped 2 grades. Later that year, he attended advanced math class at Cooper Union until he changed colleges in 1971. 1971, from September 1971, he attended the Koran Institute of Mathematical Sciences at New York University, where he studied mathematical psychology, but left without receiving a degree in June 1974. You don't get to be this creep level without knowing people and having connections. Exactly. How do you not graduate, but you're an acting professor? Exactly. I mean, from right here in 1974 to 1976, he was a private school teacher. He was 21 at the time. He started working September 74 as a physics and mathematics teacher for teens at the Dalton School on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Donald Barr, who served as the headmaster until June 1974, was known to have made several unconventional recruitments at that time, although it's unclear whether he had direct role in hiring Epstein. 3 months after Burr's departure, Epstein began to teach at the school despite his lack of credentials. I mean, but I guess back then it's different than it was now, because I know now you can't be a teacher or a professor or anything without graduating and having the right degrees and credentials. So I guess then they really didn't care, I'm assuming. Or anybody. I mean, at this point, you can hire anybody back then. Epstein allegedly showed inappropriate behavior towards underage female students at the time, paying them constant attention and even showing up at a party where young people were drinking, according to a former student. And that's where, in my opinion, this is where it began. This is where his weird, disgusting self began. What is this? Oh. Other former students also often saw him flirting with female students. Eventually, Epstein became acquainted with Alan Greenberg, the chief executive officer of Bear Stearns. Whose son and daughter were attending the school. Greenberg's daughter, Lynn, pointed to a parent-teacher conference where Epstein influenced other Dalton parents into advocating for him to Greenberg. In June 1976, after Epstein was dismissed from Dalton for poor performance, Greenberg offered him a job at Bear Stearns. Yeah. He was a regular nobody, but somehow he gets a high-profile billionaire with a private island. Goal. Yeah. I mean, so from 1976 to 1981, that's when he joined Bear Stearns as a low-level junior assistant to a floor trader. He swiftly moved up to become an options trader, working in specific product division. And then advised the bank's wealthiest clients, such as Seagram President Edgar Bonfram, on tax migration strategies. Jim Kane, the bank's later chief executive officer, praised Epstein's skills with wealthy clients and complex products. In 1980, 4 years after joining Bear Stearns, Epstein became a limited partner. In 1981, Epstein was asked to leave Bear Stearns for, according to his sworn testimony, being guilty of a Reg D violation. Even though Epstein departed abruptly, he remained close to Kane and Greenberg and was a client of Bear Stearns until it collapsed in 2008. And then he became a financial troubleshooter from 1981 to 1987. He founded his own consulting firm, Intercontinental Assets Group, Inc., which assisted clients in recovering stolen money from fraudulent brokers and lawyers. Epstein described his work at the time as a high-level bounty hunter. He told friends that he worked sometimes as a consultant for governments and was very wealthy to recovering embezzlement funds. And while at other times he worked for clients who had embezzlement funds, Spanish actress and heiress Anna Obregon was one such wealthy client who Epstein helped in 1982 to recover her father's millions in lost investments, which had disappeared when Drysdale government securities collapsed because of fraud. So basically, I mean, he went from a teacher who would flirt with all the females to working as a low-level junior assistant, then an options trader at Bear Stearns. Then he went and became a financial troubleshooter, aka a high-level bounty hunter if you're trying to receive your stolen money. Then he ended up being a Towers Financial Corporation. So Steve Hoffenberg hired Epstein in 1987 as a consultant for Towers Financial Corruption, unaffiliated with the company of the same name founded in 1998. So, I mean, he went everywhere. He knew people, especially people who had, like, who worked with a lot of money, I'm assuming. So, he pretty much went from, yeah, fraud. Imagine that. Yeah. He he pretty much knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. But here it said in 1993, Towers Financial Corporation imploded when it exposed one of the biggest Ponzi schemes in America history, losing over 450 millions of its investors' money. Excuse me. In court documents, Hoffenberg claimed that Epstein was intimately involved in the scheme. Epstein left the company by 1989 and was never charged for involvement in the massive investor fraud committed. It is unknown if Epstein acquired any stolen funds from Towers' Ponzi scheme. There you go. I mean, then he has the J. Epstein and Company business from 1988 all the way to 2019. Well, so basically, sorry. He basically was just no, I'm not calling you Siri. He basically just went from places to places to places. So he, from what people are saying, was he was really good at math. And according to what happened in the Ponzi scheme, they believe that they don't know allegedly if he took any of those funds from that scheme they were doing. So he was just a big fraud. That's what he was. He was a swiper. He was just taking people's money. In other words, let me see if it finally unblurred on this side. Oh, okay, it's still not. Hold on, I have to do this real quick. On my end, it went blurry. So I think I need to refresh it. But while that's playing, okay, well, there it goes. It's loading. I think when I move, okay, there we go. So basically, Jeffrey Epstein was just he was just riding with the scammers in another and another word. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go. I'm not even gonna read some of this. Um, but whoever this man is, back to the birthday book. Now we're going back to the birthday book. It's just so disgusting. Um. Anyway, from that night back in May of 1953, as they lay there intoxicated from their love making, little did they know they would be bringing into the world early the next year. Let's fast forward to you. I remember summers when Warren would always work some SLUTASS job, Nathan's from minimum wage. I would always find something male ego in Brighton Beach, and Frog would too, Cabana Boy. But you, Jeff, would never work. Yes, you were special. You did things like music camps in Michigan, etc. Which brings me to when you lost your virginity. You may not remember, but I was under the same roof that could wait, what? That could New Year's Eve in 66 or 67, not sure. First time I ever flew was with you. I went with you to Michigan to visit your friend, Redacted, the inner chin girl from New Year's Eve. It was also the first time I had ever laid eyes on a bright, attractive, bubbly, blue-eyed Midwestern female. She was like an alien to me. She wasn't Jewish or Italian. Wasn't she your first? My first was up in Monticello, where I spent part of the summer with Lloyd and Andy working at Playland Archive in Monticello. It was Lloyd's girlfriend. Anyways, back to Michigan trip because it was significant, Jeff. You took me with you. It was my first time out in Brooklyn. It was no big deal, but we went, and nobody ever went anywhere back when and where we came from. Then on to Europe. The second time I ever flew was in Europe. I really saw a true transformation in you. You lost all your chubbiness, and I remember noticing that you grew a few inches. You got absolutely skinny in those weeks abroad. I always remember you were consistently working in the train schedule, riding that night, so you could have a free plane to sleep and arriving on your destination in the morning ready to hit the sights. We drink in all the cities and had to offer a budget for $2 a day. Um, so it's just a friend talking about, I guess, their trip in Europe. But let's go here where it says, dang, this is so blurry. We had some scary moments. That's when I made it such a great experience. We stayed at Corfu for 2 weeks or so. Never got to London because of that. Corfu was great on the budget. I remember being great sleeping on the beach with kids from all over the world. Matt and Redacted too, and those two girls from Cleveland. That trip to Europe could have get more space, but the main point is that it really opened your eyes to another world and mine too. But you, Jeff, seized it, and I did too in the sense. You did spend the next summer in London and came home with a beautiful British babe named Redacted. You had such up to bring her to your beautiful, civilized, impressive home on Maple Avenue. Think back on that. That shows a lot. It really does. You didn't give a shit, but she thought she couldn't have been too impressed. You were seriously easygoing, never tight, never worried, always confident in aspects of your personality. Of course, coupled with the brilliance and intellect that is what made you who and what you are today. I don't give a shit that don't give a shit attitude, your calculated a fullness, your sense of humor, and most importantly, that confidence came that you gave early on. You had confidence, and I did, and an I don't give a shit attitude to bring blank into your Seagate world. It worked. You began to realize that you could get away with shit. That chicks and people in general were schmunks. You sensed that you were sharper and more a salute the most. I mean, you're lurking and cleaning. Hello, MJ. How are you doing? I mean, I I I don't even know. especially the ones who had women, money, and position and power. Yes, your charmiza and persuasive ways came very, very early on. You didn't learn life's lessons in your home. You learned from them, or you learned from us, me, Frog, we, from Europe, Interlachen, our trips to the city, and all the people you met along the way. Maybe you picked up a little from Timmy, too. Remember meeting Philly? He's 16. He said he'll always remember how you said that Timmy taught you a lot about business. I know you enhanced a little bit, but that was a great thing to say to a kid. I'll never forget it either. Warren and Philly are crazy about each other, and the kid is obviously enor- in, enamored by you and loved meeting you. It meant a lot to him and me. He's really a great kid, and that's easygoing, confident manner. Good looking kid. Yeah, whoever this kid is, do not take advice from Jeffrey Epstein. Do not. Um, so now you're 50. No sweat, Jeff. You look great. You're probably in the best shape of your life, and you're not slowing down one bit. If no one told you how old you were, you wouldn't think you were 16 or something. Just don't get bored and stay healthy. And then there's Warren. He is a hilarious ever and exactly the same as he was 35 years ago with his trench coat and his businessman boots back then. We see each other pretty often. When can Warren and I get together with you for at least an evening? Just get Warren started, the way he used to. Maybe he needs to include Zuka as a prop for Warren. Uh, yeah, I mean, whoever this Johnny boy is, he's really. I can't stay. I gotta get up in 5 hours. I'll rewatch the rest. Okay. Good night, Kitty Q. Thank you for being here. Good night. Good night. I mean, whoever this Johnny boy is, he is just kissing his ass. He is praising and kissing Jeffrey's butt. But, ugh. Yeah, no. Why would you praise him for, honestly? Like, for what? Let me see. So, this is from somebody else. It says, Dear Jeff, I'm supposed to write something funny. Well, I can't think of just something episode, but rather many years of great time. Seagate, Coney Island, Mark Twain, 188 Lafayette High School, our trips to Greenwick Village, sneaking into the Gilmore East, driving taxi cabs, Max, Kansas City, wearing my grown army fatigue jacket that Understone gave me, and liberating books from the bookstore on the 6th Avenue and 8th Street next to Pretty's, home of the educated hamburger, stories about chromotic UTIs, prostate massage, orgies, ice skating in Prospect Park with Terry and me, Warren, and what? Scurves? Scars on your hand so we would skate during couples only music, lake lights on the center ice, bike riding in the middle of the night during allergy season, Herb Appet records like Whipped Cream and something playerback, Paula Seymour, Puggy, Chowder Green, Chowder, Greenberg, Harold School, Maple Avenue, getting stopped in Warren's Gold, VW Beetle, the Shed House, and big scars with huge strips, bikini underwear, no underwear, the shoe theater, the Hubba Hubba, lunch something, Carolinas, the Rivettas, Cooper Union, your visit to Italy, um, something, your accordion, beach baths, Terry's, Warren, me and you, 50 years old. Wow, happy birthday. Best wishes, love always, Michael. Well, Michael, you just let out a bunch of stuff, didn't you? um, so I guess whoever this Warren and the other guy is, I guess they're friends with him. Okay, what is this? This is the math team. I guess Jeffrey Epstein was on the math team, but where the hell is he at? You can't even see him. It's blurry as hell. Well, on my end, it's blurry. Where is Jeffrey Epstein? I can't even tell. No, I don't even know where he is. Apparently, he was on the math team. Man. Yeah, I don't even know where he is. Report to parents, Jeffrey Epstein. God damn it, these are freaking faded to the core. And then of course there's Ghislaine's wacky ass handwriting. All right, let me skip a few pages, but let me take it off the screen for a little bit, just in case. Just in case. Another one I want to show you is the girlfriends part. Okay, so Ghislaine added a part in his 50th birthday book that involved, I guess, his past girlfriends he had. Ghislaine, pretty much, in my opinion, she got in contact with everybody to write in Jeffrey Epstein's birthday book. This is his 50th birthday book, but this is from, allegedly, I'm assuming, one of the girlfriends. Of course, it's redacted. They redacted her name. Dear Jeffrey, if I were to list my life achievements, surely scoring higher than you on the 9th grade algebra regate would rank the top 10. I would never forget the exhilaration of considering myself smarter than Jeffrey Epstein in math. That same year, you not only performed mathematical magic by tutoring me to get the perfect score on the Regent, you thrilled our class in music by playing California Dreaming on the piano, and thrilled me even more by stealing a kiss after The Sound of Music at Radio City Music Hall. When we met again sometime after college, you had shoulder-length curls, wore wonderful hand-embroidered denim work shirts and tight jeans, and drove a brown Camaro with glove compartment full of parking tickets. Needless to say, you had outgrown your shyness around girls and even confessed that you participated in peace marches because they were easiest place to get laid. A true unique perspective on political activism, in the 70s. A few years later, during a trip to Palm Beach, we were driving down admiring the homes when you pointed in the direction of a particularly impressive mansion and said, "One day I'm going to own that." I smiled and considered your comment, nothing more than wishful thinking. Many mansions later, you have shown me the importance of having a vision and determination to pursue it, a lesson I continue to rely upon for inspiration. From lessons in algebra to lessons in life, the lessons I've learned from you during the past 35 years haven't always been easy or even ones that I would have chosen to learn, but they were always important. I'm very grateful to have you for a friend and hope that if you ever need help solving a rate time distance problem, you won't hesitate to call. All my love, redacted, redacted, redacted. And there he is. There's Jeffrey. I mean, ugh. Lurking and modding another chat, but I'm here. The man of the hour has arrived, but he is lurking. Hello there. How are you doing? How is everything? Oh, my nose is itching. Sorry, my allergies are starting to act up. As she goes through the hall, people stop and stare to see such a pretty girl with long something something love, Jeff Epstein. To Jeff's woman? What the? Roses are red, violets are blue, your hair is like gold. I wish mine were too. I like to see what I look like. Yours, darling, something. Oh, wearing something. Those are fireworks in the background. My question is, who in the world would ever date Jeffrey Epstein? Like, that man has never been attractive. Like, what did they see in this dude? Like, he's not attractive at all. He is ugly. Um, he is one ugly dude. I don't know what this is, but it's heavily redacted. Um, okay, these are music sheets. Let me get you something else in this birthday book. Oh, I skipped a lot. There it goes. Okay, I don't even know if I can show you half of these. Ew. Jeffrey Epstein with no shirt? Ugh. I just threw up in my mouth. I'll post this on my Discord so you guys, if you guys want to see the full, ew, what is that? If you guys want to see the full birthday book, you can. It was Jeffrey Epstein and Speedos. Ew. Ugh. I think I'm gonna vomit. Okay, this part is what got everybody very creeped out, very disgusted. It got me disgusted. This is the part of the book that I'm assuming that, okay, I don't want that. That's Ghislaine and him. I don't know if it's children who knew Jeffrey Epstein, if it's his nieces, nephews, cousins, but a lot of people found it very disturbing because some of the stuff that was said, I don't know if it's still in there. I know that some of the pages in this birthday book have been taken out, but there's an illustration on here that I'm going to show you in a little bit. So this is from someone. His name's, they wrote, I think it's Uncle Jeff, makes Poppy. One day, Uncle F decided to go Poppy. He had never seen Poppy in his life. Even though he is 50, he has never seen it. Narrator, why are you here? He said Uncle Jeff, I'm assuming. Get on with the story. Okay, so as I was saying, he was going for the toilet. As he popped on the floor. So Uncle F ran to tell his mommy that he had popped, or Poppy, on the floor. Mommy, me Poppy on the floor, and me see Poppy for first time. No, not the narrator again. Why are you here? Said Uncle F. Because you only have 1 minute and 2 seconds left. Okay. Left. So hurry up with the story. Okay. They scribbled something. That's too fast, I guess. So to the end, what? The silly sorry, he cleaned it. I guess it had something to do with pooping. Okay, now this one was weird. A lot of people, I don't even know. A lot of people were wondering why did Ghislaine put this in the book, especially the "Here Comes the Bride" song. But these are all women, and again, children. A child drew this and wrote this. Here comes the bride, all dressed in white. Where is the groom? He is in the ladies' room. What is he? Reminder. Something to work on his binder. They scratched out where is he, and they covered this word with the picture. His doggy. And I'm assuming this is a man, a little girl. I'm assuming this is a lady with a baby in her stomach. I don't know. And then of course they redacted this picture, and this is Ghislaine's handwriting. As I can tell, Ghislaine has some fucked up handwriting. I don't know who this little girl is. I don't know how she even came upon this book, or even why children are in this book. Mind you, this is the 50th book to a grown-ass man, and Ghislaine, the creep-ass Maxwell, put children in this book. They redacted this one. It's redacted. They redacted them. Then it skips to friends. Yeah, I don't even know who they are. Yeah, I can't even show that part because, you know, YouTube will take me down if I show you the pew pew. So I'm going to read it to you, but I can't show you because the picture is big, but it has on the bottom of the picture, finally at the home of our friend, let's call him Mr. Brown, Jeffrey unveiled his plan. To some, it may have seemed a get-rich-quick scheme, but to me, it was pure genius. Rob and kill was the name of the plan. The first victim, redacted, to be attacked and brutally plundered, would she want more than that on the broad walk in Venice Beach? Broad daylight, the dastardly thieves were never caught. Proscript, I retired from, quote, the life, but I recently read in an article in New York which led me to believe that my old friend Mr. E had continued on and became an industry leader. Mind you, whoever wrote this is a friend of Jeffrey Epstein. To me, it seems like a very close friend. And then it's a picture with Jeff and a woman, but they redacted it. Then it goes, Jeffrey was such a nice man, a sweet, innocent type. One of my employees called him Mr. Epstein, the math teacher. Always ready to lend a hand, help a friend in need, even volunteered to help out his surgery at UCLA. Scrubbed and put on the gown, the whole bit, just to do his part. Let's skip. Skip to the next one. I mean, this book is just very, gives me the ick. What is this? Okay. Here's an illustration picture that I'm assuming, I don't even know who drew this, but somebody drew this illustration picture. So it goes, as soon as it goes, no excuses, too fast, too much, please stop. I will not. Stop the chronometer, keep going, ha 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 ha. And I don't know who these people are, but I don't even know who wrote it. Joy. And it's a picture of Epstein. Keep going, young man. Peace. Keep going, young man. And then it goes, 10 is the most beautiful number. Don't rush to be 100 years old. 5 plus 10. It contains the, what? It contains the hint from something, and then it's a bunch of math problems, and it says Archimede, Euclid, Epstein, Pythagoras something, Brunto, and it has like a bunch of like math problems. Is this the one that was on that blackboard? Remember that picture that they released? Is this what was on the blackboard? Because they had some words on the blackboard, and it had like the, let me see, and it had like a bunch of it had like a bunch of like word problems, like math problems on there. Where is it at? Let me see if I can find it. Was that what was on the math board? Let me see if I could find it though. Was it? I don't know if it was or wasn't. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. I'm trying to find it. I'm pretty sure it, like on the blackboard it had similar stuff to that picture. Oh, god dang it, where is it? Photos from the Epstein release. Okay, yeah, here it is. Okay, I'm looking for the blackboard. I'm not looking for any of them. Oh man, where is it? Okay, great. Now I gotta look for it. Okay, I'll look for it later, and I'll put it on Discord. But I'm if I'm not mistaken, this was on that blackboard in the Virgin Islands when they took those pictures and released it. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. It had something similar to that. Let me see. Okay, it jumped like a lot. Ew. In this book too, it had pictures of animals like doing the dirty. Why is that even on there? I don't even know. I'm not gonna show you that. No. It also had like pictures of animals, like male animals, when they're very excited in an actual way. Like, yeah. Now, mind you, Ghislaine Maxwell is the one who made this book for him. Why in the fuck did she put that? I don't even know. But I'm not gonna show you. It's just pure weird. And just I don't even know what she was thinking when she made this book. But there's another. I want to show you one page in this book. Where is it? It's loading. Okay, there it goes. While I look for that, you guys can take a look at this. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's that. That's that. What is this? Okay, here. So this is apparently this is the night that Jeffrey Epstein had unalived himself. I'm gonna let it play the footage a little bit while I pull up the page that I was gonna show you. Now I was seeing all over TikTok that allegedly they're saying that parts are missing from this surveillance footage, that it just doesn't make sense. There's I believe like a minute or two that's been cut out from the surveillance footage, and people are wondering like what happened to that surveillance footage, where did it go, like why did it get cut out, what's going on. I found it weird too because it is missing a piece, like it really is. Okay. I'm trying to make sure that this doesn't show anything. Okay, here we go. Okay, I can't show you that part. So I'm going to show you some parts. Back to the birthday book we go. So there is at least a couple images on this birthday book that people find very disturbing and disgusting, and it just shows you the twisted, disgusting, pervert minds that these people were doing. So it goes, "Dear Jeffrey, happy 50th birthday," and then it has the plane, it has dancing, the girls, the mermaid, and it goes, "Joelle." Now this is the image I was talking about, that people are saying that it shows you what was going on really behind the scenes. So as you could tell, you got 3 youngsters here with a man who's giving them balloons. 1983, right? Fast forward to 2003. What a great country. You got plane, you got an island, and you got the same girls here massaging what they claim allegedly is Jeffrey Epstein. Now, in this picture, a lot of people on TikTok were saying that this picture depicts that you have these young girls here. Basically, they're saying allegedly this is Jeffrey Epstein trying to woo them and trying to get them to fall under his perverted, nasty spell. Then they go over here, and many years later, when they're teenagers, they go to the Virgin Islands with him where they give him massages. It's just very disgusting. A lot of people said that, how did nobody see this? Well, first of all, nobody knows about this book. Nobody really knows about the Jeffrey Epstein 50th birthday book that Ghislaine Maxwell made for him. And in the book, it's just very disturbing. It's very disgusting. But this image, it just shows you what Jeffrey Epstein was really doing, that it is true. Fast forward to another page. And now this page has been all over social media just because who wrote this next page I'm going to show you. Not this page. Not this page. Where is it? It's coming up. Hang on. Hold on. It's coming up. I just saw it like a second ago. This page from none other than who? Donald Trump. So it goes, voiceover, there must be more than having everything Donald. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is, Jeffrey. Nor will I, since I also know what it is, Donald. I have certain things in common. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do. Come to think of it, Donald. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that, Jeffrey? As a matter of fact, it was clear to me last time I saw you, Donald. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. It may every day be another wonderful secret. Donald J. Trump. And of course, it's the body outline of what people are saying is a woman. On TikTok and on many different podcasts that I've seen, a lot of people are saying that, Donald Trump says that he's never knew Jeffrey Epstein. He claims allegedly that he's never hung out with him like that. He's never knew him like that, that he just, they were never really that close. But I mean, there's pictures of them together. There's them at parties. There's where he took Virginia Jeffery. If you remember Virginia Jeffery, she was one of the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. Virginia Jeffery used to work for Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago, and she was very much around Jeffrey Epstein. Rest in peace to Virginia Jeffery, and may she get the justice she deserves, along with the other victims of Jeffrey Epstein. But Virginia Jeffery was always around, Jeffrey Epstein. She was always on the island. She was always going here. She was always going there. According to the documentary, she was kind of like his personal massages, because Jeffrey Epstein told her that if she stayed with him, he would get her, I guess, her degree as a masseuse. But she used to work for Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago, and Jeffrey met Virginia at the Mar-a-Lago. Donald Trump claims that allegedly that Jeffrey Epstein stole Virginia away from him. I've always wanted to talk about Virginia Jeffery and what really happened to her, because in my opinion, I do not think Virginia Jeffery self-inflicted herself. Just like Ellen Greenberg, I don't think Ellen Greenberg self-inflicted herself either. A lot of people who've self-inflicted, I think there was another victim too, if I'm not mistaken, who self-inflicted themselves, if I'm not mistaken, but I really don't think Virginia Jeffery self-inflicted herself. You can red rum somebody and make it look like they self-inflicted themselves, but back to this, a lot of people are saying that this outline of this body is of allegedly what they think is one of Trump's daughters. I don't know. It's all alleged speculation. It's just what people are saying on the internet. They're saying that it resembles, I think it's Ivana, his first daughter's outline of her body. But yeah, I mean, you cannot tell me that I do not believe Donald Trump at all. They were friends. They knew what they were doing, because the fact that he said a pout is a wonderful thing, happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. They did some shady shit together. You know they did. You know they did. I don't even know what that is. I have to be very careful because there's a picture on here that's very, like, I can't show you. I don't know why they don't redact some of these stuff. But yeah, so far, sorry. What do you guys think so far about this birthday book? I mean, mind you, Ghislaine Maxwell is the one who made this book. She got all his friends, family, people who were close to him to be in this book. And I wonder who this guy is. They pretty much redacted his whole face. Like, it's just an outline of his face. I wonder who this guy is. I wonder who. I mean, obviously, he had to have been a president. He had to have been. And this one here, too. They colored out this person's face. I have to be very careful. Just because some of the stuff that she put in this book. Again, if you want to see this book, it's 238 pages. You're more than likely, I'll put it in my Discord, and you're more than likely welcome to look at it outside of my like, you can look at it on your own time. But yeah. Let me see. Is that all the pages? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Ew. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna not read no more of this birthday book. I'm very disgusted reading this book. Yeah, I'll put this on my Discord so you guys could read it on your spare time. Now, where is that other one? All right, let me see. Well, I guess here, let me play a video. I was gonna read the whole files. Well, not all of them, but just some of Jeffrey Epstein files. But it's a lot to read. So I said, nah, let me just read some of this birthday book and show you the pictures, but I don't know where the pictures are. I had them saved, and now I don't know where they went. So let me play you this video. I do want to talk about Virginia Jeffery. Maybe tomorrow, because I do want to come back live tomorrow. We can talk about Virginia Jeffery. May she rest in peace. And some other stuff. Here, I will do law and crime. Let's hope it plays some audio. Yesterday it played audio. Let's hope today it plays audio.
Objects, a lot of powerful figures and redacted faces. We are breaking down every major photo in the latest materials release from the House Oversight Committee as they investigate the deceased financier and sex offender. And we are going to explain why each photo matters and what its context is in the larger overall story. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Now, we've been on top of the story from the very beginning. Anytime there's an update, we try to get it to you as quickly as possible. And if you're wondering how we do that, if you're in the content creation game, if you're putting things out on social media, if you're wondering how we're able to share so many clips so quickly, we use something called Opus Clip. This is an all-in-one AI editor that makes it so easy to cut, create, and upload videos across any platform. Through AI, is to help you share ideas and edit like a pro. So go to opus.pro/sidebar to create your videos today. Okay, so you might have seen the news that Democrats from the House Oversight Committee released all of these photos regarding deceased sex offender and accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Now, instead of just rushing out an episode on Friday when they were all released and say, oh, this is this, this is this, this is this, we said, let's take a minute, let's pause. Let's not only show all of these photos, but explain the context. Explain why they matter. What is it about? What does it mean? Why is it important? That is what we are going to do right now. Now, to be clear, these photos are not from the Department of Justice's release. You know how this is happening relatively soon. The DOJ has been ordered to release every Epstein file in their possession after Trump signed into law a bill requiring just that. We did an episode of Sidebar with CNN's Ellie Honig on what we can expect there. No, these photos that we're talking about today are from Epstein's estate that were released pursuant to a subpoena from the committee. In fact, to give you some context here, here is a press release from the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, the Democrats. Representative Robert Garcia, ranking member of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, released the following statement after the Oversight Committee received new photos from the Epstein estate. This latest production contains over 95,000 photos, including images of the wealthy and powerful men who spent time with Jeffrey Epstein. Images also included thousands of photographs of women and Epstein properties. Oversight Democrats are reviewing the full set of photos and will continue to release photos to the public in the days and weeks ahead. Now, this part's important. Committee Democrats are committed to protecting the identities of the survivors. Quote, it is time to end this White House cover-up and bring justice to the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein and his powerful friends. These disturbing photos raise even more questions about Epstein and his relationships with some of the most powerful men in the world. We will not rest until the American people get the truth. The Department of Justice must release all the files now. So to be clear, I'm not going over 95,000 photos. That's not what's been released. There is a certain selection of photos that have been released. Why these have been selected to be released is interesting. And to think about this, there is no time frame of these photos, when they were taken, where they were taken, the context. We can kind of get a little bit of understanding about that.
I do have to do commentary, but I did hear, if I'm not mistaken, that they haven't released all the files. Like, there's still more that need to be released. But a lot of people are saying on social media that they feel like that there's no transparency in this, and I agree. I mean, they said they were just going to redact the victims' names and their pictures, but some people are saying that they probably didn't even yes, they redacted the victims' names and photos, but a lot of people are assuming that they also redacted other people that they didn't want to be named, maybe high-end people that we all, know of, that they don't want to be shown. So a lot of people are saying they're taking advantage of this, but that I think it was the Oversight Committee, they have at least 95,000 pictures and images regarding from Jeffrey Epstein. Now, are they ever going to release all those pictures? I don't know. Are they ever going to release the files? The whole full files? Or the names on that list? I doubt it. But seeing those pictures that they release is just very weird. I mean, he had many statues of women's bodies. He had the ballerina one, the ballerina foot in the restroom. He had paintings of girls nude. I mean, this painting, this right here, I don't even know. He had pictures of him with children, literal children, even a toddler. For fuck's sakes, this man was just a creepy pervert dude.
my best to explain it. But why these were selected and without an explanation, can talk about that. But let's start going over them. And we got to start with the Trump of it all. So there is a photo of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein together at what appears to be a party or social event. There's also a photo of Trump and a blonde woman with her face redacted out in a black box. There is also, same thing, photo of Donald Trump with 6 women wearing leis. Their faces are all redacted out in black boxes. They're at some sort of public event. Now, why are they blacked out? Is this to say they're victims? Is this to say they're survivors? Are their faces blacked out for privacy purposes? I will say it's interesting because the New York Post provided more clarity on this. They obtained 2 unredacted photos in this batch. One is this group of women with Trump, and the other is of that blonde woman with Trump. To be clear, we're not going to show you the unredacted photos. We got the redacted ones. That's what we're going to show. However, according to purportedly one of the women in that group shot, she spoke to the Telegraph, according to the Post, and said, "I was 22 years old and remember him being very nice. He was very gentlemanly." That's the word to describe him. The outlet reports that the women were supposedly models representing the suntan lotion brand Hawaiian Tropic, that this was at Mar-a-Lago. It's believed that the photo maybe was taken in 1998. We don't know for sure. To be clear, though, there is no evidence of wrongdoing here or that they're victims in any way. So it is interesting and raises the question why their faces are blurred out without more of an explanation. I will tell you, author Michael Wolff, who we've talked about here on Sidebar, we've talked about him before, given his past correspondence with Jeffrey Epstein, somebody who has documented the life of Donald Trump in recent years. He spoke about these photos on the Daily Beast podcast, Inside Trump's Head. He said the Democrats are blacking out their faces. And the implication here is that they are blacking out their faces because these might have been victims, I suppose, of Donald Trump. It's a weird signal that is being sent. White House Communications Director Stephen Chung told the Daily Beast, in really no uncertain terms, quote, "Michael Wolff is a lying sack of S and has been proven to be a fraud. He originally fabricates stories originating from his sick and warped imagination, only possible because he has a severe and debilitating case of Trump derangement syndrome that has rotted his peanut-sized brain." The president himself was initially asked about these photos and said last week to a group of reporters, "Well, I haven't seen it, but I mean, everybody knows this man. He was all over Palm Beach. He has photos with everybody. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of people that have photos with him. So that's no big deal. I know nothing about it." And this comes after White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson said in an earlier statement, once again, House Democrats are selectively releasing cherry-picked photos with random redactions to try and create a false narrative. Here's the reality. Democrats like Stacey Plaskett and Hakeem Jeffries were soliciting money and meetings from Epstein after he was a convicted sex offender. The Democrat hoax against President Trump has been repeatedly debunked, and the Trump administration has.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, one thing's for sure, Jeffrey Epstein is a fucking pervert, and all his friends and everybody who were with him were weirdos, creeps, pervs. I mean, ugh. Justice for the victims. They deserve justice. I'm going on an hour 30. It's midnight my time. I am going to come back live tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a different topic. We are going to talk about Virginia Jeffery. Now, if you don't know, Virginia Jeffery is one of the Jeffrey Epstein victims. We are going to talk about Virginia tomorrow. So I'm going to do my research tonight on Virginia, and we're going to talk about her and what happened to Virginia. And then Sunday, we're going to have a whole different topic. I don't know yet what topic it is, but I will let you guys know. But I'm going to let this play before we end.
Swearing newly elected Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva, partially because she will be the deciding vote to compel the release of the Epstein files. Last month on the steps of the Capitol, survivors urging Congress to act. Notably missing, though, was Virginia Roberts Giuffre, one of the most well-known survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. She died by suicide in April. Today, her memoir was released. Scripps News national correspondent Alex Miller is live in New York with the very latest. And Alex, you've been combing through the book. What stood out so far?
Well, Del, it was a devastating book from start to finish. This book does not just detail her experiences with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. It details really her entire life and abuse that began long before she met Jeffrey Epstein. In her book, she alleges that her father molested her and also traded her to a family friend between the ages of 7 and 11 years old. Now, this is something that her father denies, but this was a big part of the beginning of her memoir. She also alleges rape from a construction worker, from somebody who ran an escort service, all of these things happening before she met Jeffrey Epstein. She met Epstein through Ghislaine Maxwell. Robert Jeffery was working at Mar-a-Lago when Maxwell approached her and invited her over for an interview. According to this book, her father drove her to this interview, and during this so-called interview, both Maxwell and Epstein raped her. She calls them two halves of a wicked whole, and through this entire book, she just details how much the abuse impacted every aspect of her life. She really felt like she was working for Jeffrey Epstein. She said that when they would travel, which was all over the world and frequently for weeks at a time, they would take her passport so she couldn't go anywhere. These experiences were graphic and they continued for years. Now, she names a few people during this experience, particularly Prince Andrew. We got a little bit more insight into the experiences that she had with him. She details 3 separate times that she says that she slept with him. That photo, she says, was taken in London. She had gone shopping for that outfit with Ghislaine Maxwell before the abuse happened from Prince Andrew. I want to read you a little bit of what she said he said to her on that first night that they met. She said she was 17 years old, and when she told him that, he said, "My daughters are just a little younger than you." She remembered him feeling entitled, she said, as if having sex with me was his birthright. Again, she says that he abused her on multiple occasions, including once on Epstein Island with 8 underage girls who did not speak English. She said they were flown in, and then after the incident, they were immediately flown back. Now, she details other people, specifically Marvin Minsky and Jean-Luc Brunel, who also coincidentally died by suicide in prison. But she doesn't name anybody else. She talks about multiple billionaires, a prime minister, a senator, and a gubernatorial candidate who eventually won in a Western state. But she doesn't give any names of who any of these people are. And then she also named some high-profile figures who flew on planes or had vacations with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, but does not allege anything specifically, including Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey. She talks about the numerous times that she flew on Epstein's plane with these kinds of people. And she talked about the threats that she faced. Immediately after beginning to work for Jeffrey Epstein, she said that he showed her a photo of her little brother. Remember, she was 15 years old, so he was about elementary school aged at the time. A photo of him in his schoolyard, essentially saying, "We know who your brother is. We know where he goes to school, so make sure that you don't tell anybody what's happening." And then after she had come forward, she said that there were often specific appearances of break-ins in her house. The door would be left open, alarms would be going off, or there would just be a suspicious car in her driveway at night with the headlights on. So she experienced all of these things really up until her death, something that she predicted herself.
Alex, has there been any progress made in getting the files, the Epstein files themselves?
Yeah, so tomorrow we're going to talk about Virginia Jeffery. I want to see if I could get the book, The Nobody's Girl, so we could read some of it. I'd have to look tonight to see if there's like an audio book or like a book of it that we can look at and read. Because I want to see what Virginia Jeffery wrote in that book. I could order it on Amazon and we could do like a live, if you guys want, of reading Nobody's Girl written by Virginia Jeffery, if you guys want to do that. But tomorrow I plan on talking about Virginia Jeffery. I should be live 9:30 Central Time. Tonight I was supposed to come out at 9:30, but I got super busy. I came home late And I was like, you know what? Let me do a quick little hour live of Jeffrey. I know it was all over the place. We were everywhere. But I was just like rushing home just to make it to the live. I didn't want to cancel tonight's live. But tomorrow I will be live. And we will talk about Virginia Jeffery. And then Sunday we have a different topic to talk about. I'll put the live dates after I get off of here. Excuse me, but I'm going to see tonight if I can find like an audio book or something of Virginia Jeffery's book. So just we can look at it and read it. I'm actually doing that right now, seeing. They sell it at Target. Oh, that's not her. I know they sell it on Amazon. But the thing is, if I could get it on Amazon and it comes in like in the morning, that would be perfect. I could do the audiobook for 99 cents. Yeah, I'll have to see. Yeah, I'm going to definitely look into it tonight. But yeah, that concludes another late night live. Thank you all for being here. You guys are the best. You guys are amazing. Shout out to my replay crew. I know this live was literally all over the place. I had everything set and then I rushed home because I was late. I was like, God dang it, I forgot I had to be live at this time. Rushed home and I was like, okay, let me just jump on and just get right into it. But tomorrow we're going to talk about Virginia Jeffery. I should be live around original time, 9:30 Central Time. And then, of course, Sunday, I'll be on a little bit earlier just because I know everybody works on Monday. So Sunday we'll have a little early stream. But we're going to talk something different. I am going to upload the Courtney Clenny video upload pretty soon. I'm almost done with it. I'm still working on Ellen Greenberg. It's going to be probably like 4 or 5 hour video stream. But yeah, that'll be coming soon. But you guys are the best. I love you all. Shout out to my replay crew. Thank you for everyone who came. You guys are amazing. I love you all. Good night. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.